All right. Today on Business Success in Six with Stacie, I have Paul Budiak here from Paulie's Pub and Eatery in West Dallas, Wisconsin. Thanks for jumping on, Paul.
You bet.
Hey, I'd love to ask you about Paulie's Pub and Eatery. I know you have 19 years of experience just with this business. Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Sure, you bet. Yeah.
All right, here we go. When people ask you what Paulie's Pub and Eatery does, how do you describe your business?
I kind of describe it as having a party in your basement, but we clean it up. We do tons of shuttles. We invested in that the last 4 or 5 years. So we got four vans, two full size school buses. We do Fiserv, Summerfest, the
Wow.
American Family Amphitheater down there, American Family Field. We do Bucks, Brewers, Admirals, Marquette. So we do a bunch of those. We do music generally 3 to 5 days a week. So Friday nights, Saturday nights, Sunday afternoons, Sunday nights. We do that. Tuesday Troubadours just ended because we do a racing show as well on Tuesday nights. So the times kind of change. Wednesday's trivia, Thursday's music bingo. It's kind of after COVID. I don't want to take my foot off the gas. We
Yeah.
didn't have lunches for a long time because across the street is a Wisconsin Expo Center,
Okay.
and that was a COVID hospital for a year and a half. So 90% of our lunch business was gone because of that. So we just reopened Monday through Thursday, 11, so 7 days a week, 11 o'clock to do lunch. And so we're kind of attacking different sources of media for the day parts. Our Monday nights are a little slow, so we're bringing on another thing for our customer base to enjoy,
Okay.
and for those lunches to attack those. So.
Wow. So you are a lot more than just a pub with food. I mean, you're transporting people, you're entertaining people. So when you started your business 19 years ago, how was your business then and how has it changed throughout? I know you talked about with COVID. Let's talk even before that.
This is kind of how it went. The person that we're leasing from, the person that they had previously leased to, did not give up the keys.
Oh.
So we had an Indy race coming up the Friday. We got the keys at 12:30 in the morning, the Tuesday morning of Memorial Day weekend. So
Oh,
I had my nephews and a bunch of their friends help me out a lot. And we had like 20, 27 or 28 vendors that we had 4 days to remodel everything because there was not stuff taken care of that should have been taken care of. So
oh my
we
gosh.
had to do that. And the first weekend, our equipment for kitchen didn't come in. So we had tons of people, which was great for drinks because we needed, obviously, when you start a business, sometimes money can be tight.
Yep.
So we did that. And we were able to do pizzas for people just so they would have something. So we kind of started there. The first Summerfest, I remember the first 11 days, we had like 10 customers.
Oh
The whole,
my.
yeah. So my wife and I were like, guys, was this a really good idea to get into? I had confidence and things like that. But so progressively over the years, um, you you know, bars and restaurants are generally pariahs for banks. So you
Sure.
can't go and do a business plan and go, well, I want to start a bar because they have their own way of seeing what your credit is, and
Yep.
different industries are very scary to go there. So sometimes you have to kind of rob Peter to pay Paul and do that stuff. So for
Yeah.
the first 10 years, that's kind of how we went. Um, and then we uh, joined a restaurant group that finally put their stuff on on the cloud, is cloud-based software. So for us to go into our scheduling program,
Mhm.
so that ties in with my budget now. So I do it every month. I do an estimated sales forecast. Those break out. This is how much you should spend on labor. This is how much you should spend on beer. This is how much liquor. This is how much food. Things like that. And every day we put our totals in. So then automatically changes my budgets every single day based upon what percentages. So, so we started doing that and really attacking everything in this business, just like everything else. You have to cost everything out. Everything has a recipe. You're an outdoor furniture, or your family is.
Yep.
So they need to know how much everything costs on that. You know what your cost. It's probably a cost plus system, same as mine. So you know what your cost has to be and what you can allowable to sell it at this price or this price. So that's the same thing with every single item we have, every single shot that we have, every single tub that we have, every single tall that we have, you know, every food item. And food items were, you know, over the last year and a half, 2 years, 37%. You've gone to the grocery store. So those are ones where we had to, instead of waiting 2 to 3 months to revise our menu, it's almost weekly. And I know a lot of bigger, you know, restaurants that are franchises they do them every day.
Wow.
They print their menus, you know, and they're smart because that's all of a sudden you could have 18% jump in your protein, and you're just eating that. So instead of making, you know, your percentage that you should, it's half of the percentage or half of the amount of food dollar wise that's supposed to come in. You know, one of the things that growing up kind of in this business and doing different things was, and other businesses, you take money to the bank, you don't take profit to the bank. So, you know, and then one of the big things is inventory. Inventory on your shelves is not money in your bank account. So you got to run as lean as you can, and constantly change and update every single day how to do that. And budgets are huge, you know. A lot of those things that I've taken from my past, we've started to really, and I've started to give a little bit of my knowledge or let other people come in and work for us and do things that I can't do all the time. You know, it was for a long time, it was, you know, $100 a week. And it just, you can't do that. You can't sustain it. And
yeah, you got to.
Your employees don't want to work with you. You know, customers don't want to see you. They go home, get out of here. They don't want to talk to you. So, especially in this business, that's very hard. So I had to kind of take a step back and kind of look at that. Yeah, COVID did some things. We had just done a huge remodel on our whole thing. To remodel, we never really closed. We shut down 2 days.
Okay.
So I'm always one where money has to come in, so we have to do what we have to do. So we were back in business like 4 months. I mean, it was the best business that we had ever done.
Wow.
We were up like 37%. It was crazy. And then COVID hit. So we had to find, and obviously, you know, I'm on top of a lot of things. So we were able to partake in some of the things for the government.
Good.
If we would have been able to keep going, we wouldn't have had to need that. We had dropped 97% in sales, and we were doing to goes, but you can't replace people in the seats and stuff like that. So we kind of learned some things through there. We even streamlined our process through our software company for our restaurant management. And so we're just doing dailies. We don't want to take our foot off the gas. I think I told you that. You never know. You know, we could close on Mondays or Tuesdays, where a lot of restaurants are, and it probably give me peace of mind. But for us, we do shuttles for brewers, so we can't close on a Monday because there's going to be a brewer game, and then people are going to go, well, if they're closed on Monday, then maybe they're closed on Thursday, right? And buck shuttles, concert shuttles, there's something going on all the time. So in those, the more people that come in and experience that, it gives an opportunity for my staff to make money on a Monday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night. Recently, we just hired a new chef, and we've kind of sat together, him and I, and gone, okay, what are the products that we have on our menu? What are are, as far as ingredients, what are the best ingredients that can make a burger the best burger? So in that process, we went from a half-pound burger to 2/4 pound burgers and went to certified Angus. So they cook faster, they're juicier, and the flavor is better.
Oh,
So consistency. We shrunk down our menu during COVID because we couldn't find people in the kitchen. So
sure.
now we're starting to add some things back. And instead of making a menu that has 60 or 70 things, we have a menu that has about 35 things.
Okay.
And then we do 6 features a month. So
Wow.
that you can change things,
Yep.
but it's a little bit of change. It's not a ton of things. Like we'll do different bowls. We'll do a shrimp bowl, otherwise we'll do a salmon bowl. Otherwise we'll do a chicken bowl. Otherwise we'll do a teriyaki beef bowl with ancient grains, you know,
Sure.
spinach. So it gives people an opportunity to change up the menu a little bit.
Yep. Keep things fresh.
If we can use the most consistent and the most quality products, that's huge. I know we're not the cheapest in town.
That's
but,
okay.
if we can consistently have a product that people want,
Yep.
and we don't take shortcuts, I think that's kind of our business model.
That's and that's something that our coaches coach on a lot. If you don't have to be the most expensive, you don't have to be the cheapest, but you have to be consistent with what you offer. If you're going to offer a fast food, that's what you're going to offer, and that's what people are going to expect. If you're going to offer an awesome burger and an experience and a ride, that's what people want. So I have one other question. There's a lot you packed in there, and actually I have several questions, but that first year that you were open, when you said you had 10 or 11 people in over 10 days during Summerfest, is that when you decided to start doing shuttling, or is that when it first
No, that's what we had looked at. Our proximity to the ballpark,
Yep.
8 to 10 minutes away. If you take a decent route down to the Summerfest grounds, it's 12 to 14 minutes.
Okay.
We didn't have the infrastructure in place, but we worked with different bus companies that were reasonable, that some of their people during summer, they're school bus drivers, so there's no school during summer.
Sure.
So them, they would do these programs. So it was interesting because there were some times, I remember one year when they had a strike, we had one day we had 1,800 people. So I had to call in like 5 extra buses, and I'm like, we got to get these people back on time and different things. So we've kind of changed the model of it. We were doing, if you were 21 or under 21, you could come with your parents to shows.
Okay.
Now, we don't allow anybody to drink in our establishment under the age of 21.
Yep.
Okay. Some parents were not truthful with us. So all of our concerts are 21 and older. Our sporting events must be with a parent. It can't be your son or daughter and then Joe's son or daughter from down the way. It can't be your niece or nephew because you are not the legal guardian. So we do that, and they get special wristbands that can't come in after 10 o'clock at night. Even though they go to an event, they can't come into the bar because it's hard. We have music. We have a lot of people. If the kids are 19 or 20, pretty hard for my staff to see that. And if they come,
especially when it's busy and dark and you've got so much going on. And that's a really, really another important point that you make, just from a liability point of view, making sure that you're taking care of what needs to be taken care of so you can continue with what you're doing.
I've kind of seen that where everything we have to think 3 to 5 steps ahead. So if we do this, what happens here? What happens here? What happens here? What happens here? There's 27 employees and families that count on us, to make their money, to pay their rent, to have food on their table. So the best I can do is to keep them safe, my customer base safe, provide a product that I'm happy with, that we can put our name on, and kind of go from there.
So that actually leads me into my next question here, which is what is the biggest way you impact the community? You have 27 families that are being impacted every day by being able to put food on the table. What else are you doing in the community? I mean, keeping people safe by not driving too, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's a big one. We've always, people always ask, can we leave your car in a parking lot? We have 3 parking lots, which in this area is unheard of, because we own another location about 50 feet south of us.
Okay.
So we've got a duplex in between that we bought a long time ago, another parking lot and another bar. And we bought the other bar so that suspect owners would not impact my business.
Aha.
We felt that was the best way to do it. It's only open on Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. We kind of picture that as an up north bar. It's got about 50 to 60 people. It's all cans over there, bottles over here, live music, things like that. So impacting the community. My wife was really involved with the dog park in West Allis. That was a huge thing. We've got a great little girl that's 14 years old. She is like she's like a black lab puppy, but all silver. So we call her, she cocks her head. So we call her George Clooney because she's like the cutest salt and pepper thing in the world. So that was one of the things where she got involved in the community. Obviously, we love dogs. So the West Allis Canine, we've been a big part of that. We've done some different things. We just had a 20th anniversary for Moving and Lubin, which is the vehicle for City Champs, which teaches kids how to box.
Oh, cool.
So there's some partnerships that we've made. Like I said, it's hard when so many things are going on.
Yeah.
To go, well, I'm going to be able to spread my time here. I don't get to go to a whole lot of family commitments, so that's if I'm going to do that once in a while, I need to be able to kind of, and that's why I'm hiring more people to take some of that ownership away. So
yeah,
because it hasn't been a full life, for 19 years. So it's been pretty much doing this. So
a lot of work, so much work, right?
Yeah, which I love it, but I have to get smarter and have to go, okay, you need to do this for yourself and for your family and kind of do this. So we're working on that. But I think we've been a pretty good part of the community for a long time.
My next question was, what is one challenge that you have faced? But you faced quite a few challenges through the years, and you even talked about like implementing that software like year 10. Is there anything else at the top of your mind? Like if you say the biggest challenge that you'd want to share that you've overcome?
I think one of the biggest challenges is to be accounting literate. I had background in that, this is what everybody's always told me, and I believe that accounting is not math. So it's balancing. So you can either make $1 million or lose $1 million with the same amount of revenue, depending on what you expense, what you do as a long-term notes, and different things like that. And if you don't know what your chart of accounts is, there's no way you'll be able to know unless you completely hand it off to an accountant. But that's kind of not your business. Your business is also to know how to read books, how to read a balance sheet, how to read a profit and loss statement, how to do a business debt schedule, a personal financial statement. So those are how to go through leases. Because if you own a building, like I own multiple buildings, we work towards that, because if you don't have control of your building, it's great if you want to get out of business.
Sure.
If you want to do a 3-year lease and try something or get your feet wet, and then after 3 years, if you're doing a lease, you just go, you know what, I'm walking away.
Yeah.
If you buy a building, you have to, if you have tenants, you have to go through leases, and there's commercial leases and residential leases that we go through. So you have to have someone be able to go over that. But if you want to buy a building, you have to know how to do the terms. My first one was an SBA 504 debenture that my accountant at the time set it all up and said, bring this check to the closing and then the building's yours. So now I've worked and gone from SBA 504. We were able to convert to a conventional
Okay.
mortgage, which is it has a little bit less interest rates
Yep.
and it's got a little different terms. For our remodel was a 7A, so that was the SBA. So
Sure.
every day or every 90 days, if you don't close on it, you have to redo all your paperwork.
Oh gosh.
So we had that where it was 3 times that we did that. So for 270 days, we had to redo and I mean, it was like 140 pages every
Gosh.
90 days. So those are some of the hurdles that
Yeah.
you
Know your numbers. Know what
get
you're
it
getting into,
right.
right?
That's the biggest thing. Know you're getting into. I've had people ask me, Paul, how you can you take a look at this for me and stuff like that. I will, but don't hold me to it. What you have to do is do your due diligence.
My next question for you is, what does the future look like to Paulie's Pub, and do you have an exit plan?
My goal was always 60,
Okay.
62, so that my knees, my feet, my legs, and my back would still work if I wanted to go on vacation with my wife. We don't have kids.
Okay.
So that's one of the things that I'd like to do. So we're kind of looking at different options there. She's over the last 5 years has really, really come into the business, and she was in benefits at A.O. Smith, so she's taking some of those skills and transferring them here. And now she's starting to feel a value added. Because if you're working, you can't feel like you're a value added, then why would you do it? And I'm starting to learn how to treat her as value added.
Oh,
Sometimes
huge.
sometimes it's hard when you're in a relationship to do
Yep.
that, and you
Yeah.
take stuff for granted. So I'm trying my best to do that. So
Good for you. Love it. So, Paul, my final question for you today is, all subjects open. What inspires you most?
uh, you know what? I at this point in time, I think hard work. I used to like music, used to like a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff sounds the same. A lot of stuff. I'm in my 50s, so my heroes used to be athletes,
Yeah.
movie stars, and musicians.
Yeah.
And my beliefs don't align with a lot of those anymore. So I'm not going to subsidize any of that. I used to listen a lot. I still listen to a lot of 70s music because I
Me
think it's
too.
kick ass. But in the car, a lot of times because I don't have those periods of peace when we have 150 people in and I'm doing this and that and different things. So I'll drive with my dog when my wife's working. We'll just take a ride and go to a park and not have any sound on, just to kind of recenter
Sure.
and kind of remember some of the things that who I was before. I mean, this is a 18-year, 19-year relationship. So
Yeah.
who I was before this, and do some of those things still fit me or not still fit me? So
Yeah.
that's like a daily thing that you have to kind of,
Be
remember,
mindful.
right? Because it's hard. It's pretty easy to lose everything about yourself and in your brain
Yeah. No kidding.
all the time. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of that information, that incredible business knowledge and your experience over the past 19 years. Now, if somebody wants to go to Paulie's Pub, experience music, get that transportation, and just eat awesome food, that quality food that you were talking about, what's the best way for them to get more information?
I go online, www.pauliespuband.eatery.com. We update our shuttles probably by the 15th of the previous month. We try to update our bands by the first of the previous month. If
Okay.
there's any special events going on, we go there. You can online order through
Awesome.
our online website. So those are the best way. Otherwise, give a call. And our staff, sometimes management changes stuff and staff doesn't always get what we're trying to do, but for the most part, they'll be able to lead you in the right direction of what you want to do.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today, Paul. Good luck and have a great 2023.
All right, thanks. You too.